folks. So, I want to talk about something. Ignore my laundry. I wanted to talk about something today that we've talked about before. The we spa incident where a Christian conservative most likely lied and claimed that she had saw the genitals of a trans woman and lost her shit because apparently penises are scary. And so basically what happened is that this caused a protest, and that protest led to a counter-protest. Basically, a bunch of right-leaning assholes decided to start a protest, and a bunch of trans people came there to counter-protest. And when the cops showed up, shit got wrong, like it always does when cops get involved. So, we're going to be talking about this from a couple different angles. Let's get into it. Let me do a quick sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear the magic robot voice. Go.
How a video that may have been a hoax caused a frenzy on the right and ignited violent anti-trans protests at an LA spa.
Cool, robot's audible. Nice. Let's get into this shit. What the hell? That needs to be up. Apparently I don't know how to run my stuff. Where's the other thing? There we go. I already did it with Al. I'm literally in the middle of a segment. What? I already did with one person. So, anyway. So the thing we're going to be talking about is this yeah, rabbits are fucking great. The goat, I agree. Oh shit, Rev Run's got some rabbits. Nice. Oh, Anthers is in chat. I see you, Anthers. Give me 1 second. Anthers, by the way, for all who know, is my research organizer. Very good person. Love them to death. Okay, so let's get into this. A video in which a woman complained about a LA spa's trans-inclusive policies went viral. There is no evidence to support that the incident leading to the video actually took place. The viral footage incited violence anyway. The viral footage incited violence anyway, followed by a major online trend. That's your takeaways. Let's fucking go.
A viral video prompted 2 violent anti-trans protests outside of LiQWYD Spa in Los Angeles, but unnamed Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, and spa sources reportedly told the Los Angeles Blade that there's increasing doubt over the fundamental details that led up to the footage. In the video, which has 980,000 views on a version reposted on Twitter as of Wednesday, a woman tells employees at the spa that there's a man in the women's changing room after she said she saw a transgender woman in the facilities. When other patrons tried to intervene, asking if the woman in the changing room was transgender, the woman responded, "There's no such thing as transgender." After the brief confrontation, she returns to the changing room to ostensibly find the trans patron, at which point the video cuts out. As reported by the Trans Safety Network, a UK-based group tracking anti-trans rhetoric, there is no evidence of any other footage existing after that point.
So, this lying wench decided to make up a story about seeing a penis. Oh, dear God. A penis. And decided to lose her shit because reasons. Except, here's the trick. As the previous articles went over this, the fact of the matter is, there's no evidence for this. None. Even if you ask the LiQWYD Spa, they had none of their regular transgender clients there that day. They're familiar with all of them. Hi, Anthers, I see you. I'm glad you made it. Love you. So again, what happened here seems to be fake.
The Los Angeles Blade, an LGBTQ news outlet, reported that spa sources said there were no regular trans clients at the Koreatown spa when the video was originally posted on June 24 by Instagram user Cubana Angel, who did not respond to Insider's request for comment. According to the Blade, unnamed sources within the LAPD also said they were unable to find evidence that a trans person was at the spa at the time the video was filmed. WI Spa, which did not respond to insiders' request for comment, told the Los Angeles Times in a statement, like many other metropolitan areas, Los Angeles contains a transgender population, some of whom enjoy visiting a spa. The spa strives to meet the needs and safety of all of its customers. After the spa stood by its trans-inclusive policy, right-wing protesters and trans-advocate counter-protesters staged rallies on July 3 and July 17, both of which turned violent.
Yup.
2 people were stabbed.
Yeah. So on the second internet protest, or second protest, because of the right, there were 2 people stabbed. Advocates and experts say this is far from the first time unverified or false information has served as a rallying point for violent protests. This is something that really matters, because what we're talking about here is the fact of the matter that there is a real problem with this. That is, the right can establish a narrative based on false information and then use that narrative as a springboard, as a way to get into this situation where they then have justification to protest. But it gets pretty worse. The video went viral in right-leaning spaces because of course it did. Tucker Carlson and other right-leaning figures with histories of spreading misinformation covered it, including Andy Nigo. Was that Nigo? Nigo? I forget how to pronounce his name. Ngo? I don't know. And Daily Wire columnist Matt Walsh. Oh, we all know Matt Walsh, the guy that doesn't understand pronouns or pansexual people. Right? Like, oh, Matt Walsh is a joke. Anyway, circulating the video without digging into the basic claims made by this woman. Well, of course not, because I don't think they cared. Nyayo? Is that how it's pronounced? Cool. Just help me out. So we get into this idea that there's this weaponized video being used as a way to target trans people. And as we well know and have talked about before, that's way too much to read right now to you, Matt, but thank you for your attempt. TERFs, or trans-exclusionary radical feminists, are by their nature right-leaning. Is it just no? Cool. I'll just use Alex's. Alex's sounds rad. Yes, he's scared of children's programming, Lily. That's correct. So this is a big deal. The right uses examples like this to make claims that trans women are dangerous, that, you know, quote unquote, men are trying to get into women's spaces, when we know this should just not be true. There has been zero actual evidence to show that this has ever been a problem, that there's never been an issue of some person pretending to be a trans woman running into a place. And even in this story, the supposed indiscretion never fucking happened, as far as I'm concerned. But it gets worse. Five women have filed police reports alleging indecent exposure at LiQWYD Spa. This is as of July 30th. So apparently, based on all this stuff that happened, 5 people, Angel, the person who alleges the initial thing, filed a report with the LAPD. Of course, probably not saying anything in particular about what they actually saw or who it was. Could you tell us the shape of the penis, ma'am? And then 4 others went. Seems kind of like stacking the deck, right? Right? This was a fight that had people from the Proud Boys, TERFs, a group calling itself the SoCal Antifa. Yeah, this was just a mess all the way around. Yeah, no, it absolutely agreed, Tiamat. I agree with you 100%. Those things are necessary to get representation out there so people can figure out who the fuck they are. So this is what happened. This Angel, Cuba Angel person, makes up this story with no evidence whatsoever. The spa's records show no trans person was there at the time. And this is just continuing to explode. Let's go on. Civil rights lawyers are accusing the LAPD officers of brutalizing trans activists and journalists at the LiQWYD protest. This is from the 26th. Several protests erupted after a trans woman used the same room as a cisgendered woman at the LA spa. Again, this was a lie. The first protest happened Saturday, July 3rd, when demonstrators clashed outside LiQWYD in Koreatown. Civil rights lawyers are suing the LAPD on behalf of at least 10 people, attorney Christian Contreras said. Let's get into this, because this is just becoming a shit show.
LGBTQ advocates and journalists who attended a counter-protest outside of LiQWYD Spa in Los Angeles are accusing Los Angeles Police Department officers and right-wing protesters of injuring them during the July 17 demonstration. Vishal Singh, an independent journalist and filmmaker, said he was documenting the dueling protests outside of the Koreatown establishment when an officer singled him out of a group. In that moment, that first officer that I had an altercation with, he stepped forward past everything towards me. And with both hands like a baseball bat, he battened my camera hand as hard as he could. I immediately felt splitting pain, Singh told Insider. Singh kept documenting the protest after recovering his phone and receiving treatment from medics on the scene. He went to an urgent care facility later that day where he was told the bones in his right hand were broken, requiring him to see a specialist, according to a series of tweets Singh posted about his encounter with police.
So it is never a good look when the police decide it's like time to attack a journalist. This person was there recording footage, making this situation known. And we now know that not only were trans people attacked, as you can see from this quote, "You're not dispersing anyone by shooting us in the face or stomach directly in front of you." To hide that fact, the cops tried to attack a goddamn journalist. What the fuck? I didn't mean to do that.
Marie said that medics from the LGBTQ advocacy counter-protest gave her first aid and rinsed her face, but she spent most of the day in the shower trying to relieve the burning caused by the mace.
Oh, we started a little late.
Marie, who said she did not seek medical attention.
Stop. So what you missed there, because I suck at highlighting stuff, is that basically she told Insider that other protesters sprayed bear mace in her face and took her phone. So the right decided So, Rev Run, I don't know if you're like joking about this, but again, destruction of media is a very, very quick run down fascism. You can say what you want about the capitalistic media. I'll probably agree with you on many points, but let's be super clear. This is exactly how you try to hide your evidence when you're trying to, brutalize trans people. So again, got relief, got care. This person now says they're going to bring an entire face mask next time because this is how much this thing fucking scared him. Like, Jessica, another activist who asked Insider not to use her last name, me? No, I'm not in LA, was part of the group of protesters being pushed back to the cops when she was shot by a projectile, kettled, and arrested. Kettled, like fucking popcorn? I don't know what that means. If they were trying to truly disperse us, they would have shot some tear gas. I will never understand the purpose of them shooting us the way they do. Yeah. They literally just shot people in the stomach with fucking, like, those rubber fucking, like, slugs or whatever they're fucking called. Yeah. So, here's what I'm going to say. I don't know this for sure, so I'm going to try to be as nuanced about as possible. The worst case scenario here is that this was a lie concocted by a transphobic and frankly idiotic person from Instagram who decided to do this and accidentally probably intentionally created a shitstorm. And because the cops are transphobic by their nature, what they ended up doing is this. Trying to hide the evidence of them attacking trans protesters, because as far as I can find, there is no evidence of them attacking anyone on the right. Remember, cops overwhelmingly voted for Trump. To summarize, police hemmed them in and penned them. Okay, thank you, T-Map. Oh, thank you as well, Kira. But do you guys see this? Do you guys understand this? Like, this is why we don't trust police, because this is what they do. They work with white supremacists. They work with fascists. They work with motherfucking TERFs. Because the right is much more willing to work with their supposed enemies to attack a group. Like, do we understand that? The left really struggles with this because in a lot of ways, we tend to be really critical and over purity focused. The right doesn't do this shit. Christian conservatives will totally work with fucking TERFs. Why? Because they both hate trans people. They let one person who was also in a van with me hold my head while I was seizing. Yeah, someone had a seizure. Yeah. So this is fucked. So why am I bringing this up? Contreras and Gazar are members of Justice X, an alliance of more than 100 lawyers from different fields dedicated to pro bono attorneys and other legal professionals offering free legal assistance to protesters, according to its website. They're supposed to serve and protect, and said they were beating and maiming their own community. Like, the fact of the matter is that lethal rounds are a joke. You're supposed to aim them at the ground so they ricochet, is my understanding. I am not a ballistics expert nor super knowledgeable about this, but my understanding is you're supposed to aim at the ground so they ricochet. You don't aim them directly at a person, as that could easily kill someone. Yes, less lethal rounds. Less than lethal rounds. Yes, you are correct, Hanging Wednesday. So the LAPD was not willing to offer any kind of comment. And so this is just exploding. There are now five on file complaints about this fictional trans woman's penis. And they're now going to be lawsuits, rightfully so, in my opinion. Because the police had a bias here and rocked it. They attacked trans people because that's what they do. Are you a minority? Sorry. So I really need people to understand this, like, really, really clear. Yeah, Reverend says, yeah, you're definitely supposed to not aim them at people, and the same reason why you never throw a rubber ball directly at someone. We got a transphobe in YouTube. Thank you. But you have to understand this. Like, you just have to. This is what the right is going to do. They're going to make shit up. They're going to put forth any myth they want. Because their inevitable goal is to destroy anything not like them. The idea that yes, Verdant Force, and my understanding is they're not supposed to. Hanging Wednesday, yeah, it is weird how they simultaneously idolize the penis and now all of a sudden it's scary. But regardless, aiming these at people when they were not being violent and allowing a protester to be sprayed in the face with bear mace is fucking insane. And I'll be honest, this needs to be dealt with. This needs to be talked about. I know the WeSpa thing was like 2-3 weeks ago in the news cycle. I'm not dropping this. This is fucked. This means that places we go to places to help us be more comfortable in our bodies. The simple fact of the matter is that right-leaning people being there now makes these places somewhat unsafe, and that really fucking sucks. What I mean is that there's a proper use in those types of bullets, Verdant Force, and that, yes, they do it all the time is not an argument. Do it all the time just means there's a fucking systemic problem. What the hell? Like, this is a really, really simple fucking discussion. Come on now. The fact of the matter is that just because someone does something a lot doesn't make it justified. And no, my understanding is you're not supposed to kill people with these. You're supposed to use them in a particular way. They're not being used that way. Because they don't care. Because they want to harm trans people. There is no evidence that they shot these at anyone on the right. And the fact is that this is very real bigotry, not just because of the right mobilizing a protest out of, the desire to hate on trans people, but because very clearly and completely the police systemically working with them. That's my take. Right? So I want to be really clear with this, is that I want us to be very, very understanding of the fact that there is a real problem here, because these types of things are going to keep happening. The police can say they're inclusive and they're trying to be helpful, but they're not. When they allow shit like this, when the police show up in LA and decide to do this, no, they're not our allies. They're not our friends. They are a state-enforced group that's allowed to kill you for not playing Simon Says properly. And the fact is that the right is going to keep using these type of tactics. So I want you to just be aware of this. And when you see these news stories, call them out. Do your research. Right? Understand this. We'll cover what we can here. But understand this really clearly. This isn't over. And if there's any other updates in this story, we'll bring it to you. So I'll leave this one here. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also ring the bell if you want to be notified of our videos. If you want to help the channel, you can donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist/tip. You also can become a patron at patreon.com/transgirltherapist. For as low as $3, you can support our channel. Thanks for watching.